All right, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to New York session. I hope you're doing well. Okay, so let's go straight to it. We are looking at the dollar index, and today we don't have any news event, so we're going to be just looking at the market with the idea that we don't expect any high impact news to come in, apart from the potential that any random news can come in. So sometimes we do have some random news that can come in, and that can affect the market. But apart from that, everything is normal. So let's see what the market is doing for us, especially the usual ones that we look at. So looking at the dollar index, we can see that on the left side I have the daily time frame, and then on the right side I have the 1 hour time frame. The fair value gap, second one, or the two that I highlighted yesterday, they went through the first one, and then today they are reacting off from the second one. Okay, so as it stands, they've not managed to close below it yet. Now on the on the 1 hour time frame, this is what the let me actually transfer this over there. There we go. So that is that one. Okay, the first one is the fair value gap, which is this one here, and then the second one is the volume imbalance, which is that one. And currently price is kind of respecting that, even though on the lower time frame looks like they've gone through it, but that was during the Asian session. So London is now showing a potential reaction off from it. I need New York session to confirm, so watch that up candle. Watch that up candle over there. If we can trade through it, then I think they might print the low of the week. Okay, they might print the low of the week, and then we will start climbing back up again. So between now and 5 p.m. we're gonna keep an eye on this for a break. The only problem is the way price is going back up. The reversal is not aggressive enough, so maybe one more run below this low with an aggressive rejection, that would be the ideal movement. But that doesn't limit the fact that if price is to go above the up candle right now, it doesn't limit the fact that if they should go through this, then it will not go up. No, the move to the upside is what I like to see, the aggressiveness of price going back up. So let's see over the course of the New York session how price will react, because on the daily time frame, as you can see for the range, this is a nice impulse leg to the upside. So we are still bullish. We are just in a phase of retracement. Okay, the phase of retracement, hence price will resume and go back up again to attack the 99.50 level and the upside objective, which was the 100.25. that still remains. So this is just a pullback. Now if we happen to close this week, let me go to the weekly time frame so you can see. If we happen to close like this for this week, that is perfect for a fair value gap to be created over here, and next week we would anticipate a move back up again. So regardless of whatever happens, we are still going to be looking for higher prices. Regardless of whatever happens, you're going to be looking for higher prices. Therefore, make sure that you stick with the higher time frame direction. Okay, the higher time frame is looking for higher prices. So with the dollar index, we are looking for a move to the upside. This is just a pullback. Okay, so let's go back to the daily so you can see how it looks like. We are bullish. All right, so on the euro, that will translate to the opposite. So we are still expecting, I like euro more, not that I like it more, but they've engineered equal low over here. Price has engineered this equal low, so this makes it a perfect candidate for a potential trade, either between today, tomorrow, and then next week. Whenever price will confirm it's gonna go down, this would be a good candidate for that equal low to be swept. In terms of pullback, I think similar to the okay, so similar to the dollar index, we are in premium. Dollar index is in discount, this one is in premium, so we're expecting price to go down. Again, the move back down, looking at the lower time frame, is not clean, so I would want to see one more run and then the aggressive rejection to go down. That is what we are looking for. So maybe they might go back up one more time to attack this high and then reject. It can happen over the course of today or maybe even tomorrow. It doesn't matter. Whenever they move, the aggressive move to the downside happens, something similar like this but the opposite. As soon as that comes in, we are good to go, and then we start looking for a sell to the downside. Okay, so that is that for euro, and the same thing applies to the British pound. British pound, we are looking for price to also reject and come down. I think that equal low is over here. On the monthly time frame, this is also the best candidate for lower prices because of that equal low. Okay, so maybe between between now and the rest of the month, downside is what I'll be looking for. Okay, and right now as it stands, relative to the range that we have, this high to this low, we are in premium. So at any given point in time, price can reject and come down, and where we are now, it's even a good thing if we can get maybe a big down candle to break this low. Okay, if you can get a big down candle to break this low, that'll be good because they've made a new high, right? So we just need one big down candle to break this, and then we are good to go to start looking for these areas as downside objectives. Okay, so let's wait for the break. Let me pull the range and see where we at. So with the range, I think we've touched the 70.5 level. Let me look at it again. Yeah, we've touched the 70.5 level, which most of the time that should be it, and then price will come back down again. So let's see between now and the close of the New York session, if we can get the move down on the Forex factory. On the Forex factory website, we do not have any news event for the dollar index. On the Forex factory website, we don't have any news event. But if you go onto there's a different website that I also look at the news event. It's called my FX my FX book. Okay, it's called my FX book. It shows that we have high impact news on the dollar index today. Okay, it shows that we have high impact news on the dollar index today, and it's coming in at 130. All right, so I don't know if that is true or not, but we will see how it will affect the market if it is true. Because if it's true, then we might get some volatility to come in. If it's not, and the reason why I say that is, as you all know, unless you are not aware, the US government has been shut down, so we don't have news being released or numbers being released. Okay, we don't have data being released by the US government, so the numbers that can affect market to move is not coming out. But like I said, maybe they can release for other people to take advantage of it. Okay, so 130, maybe there will be some movement, and we'll see how it's going to affect the market. Okay, so moving on, we're back to Euro Pound. I think Euro Pound, I'm looking for higher prices as usual. Watch this current move that is taking place. We've come back down to this order block here, so I'm expecting price reject within the next 30 minutes. If that candle on the H4 can close like that, we will be going up. Okay, within the next 30 minutes, if that candle, this candle can close like this, we will surely be going up. On the 15 minutes, it's showing that we've gone for this low here and we're breaking the high, so that will be a good sign of a reversal, and this is a pullback in my opinion. I think the last time the trade that I gave was from let me see, was from here, the fair value gap. Oops, the fair value gap over here on the 1 hour, and we're expecting price to go all the way up to here, and then to there, and then to there. Okay, that is still the idea. This is just a pullback back to this order block, so are we expecting a continuation to the upside? It seems that the 130 came and we didn't have any movement, so it feels like maybe the US government is still holding on to the data, so there was no high impact movement happening on the dollar index, so we just move on. So going to gold, gold is relentless bullish. It's unbelievable. It's broken everything that I've mentioned, and it seems like it's not gonna drop. Okay, so, and I'm not looking for the drop anyway, right? I'm still looking for higher prices. It's just that you're gonna take every single full figure, divide it by 2, and take it one at a time. So we started off with the 4,000, and then they got there, then 4,050, they got there, 4,001, they got there, 4,050, they got there, and then I gave 2,000 4,002 they got there, and then 4,250, which is few pips away from it, right? And then from there we go to 4,003. So I think ideally, so 4,050, I already have a line which is over here. That's 4,050, and then from there we go to 4,003. And then looking at the way price is moving, it feels like maybe between the figure 4,000 and 5,000, okay, between 4,000 and 5,000, divide that into 2, that'll give you 4,005. That'll be a major price level. Okay, that'll be a major price level. So let me make this line a little bit thicker. Okay, I think I need to change it. Okay, so 4,005 will be a major price level that price can reach for. And the reason why I say that is because if you look at from 3,000, once we got to 3,000, which was somewhere down here, between 3,000 and 4,000, okay, between 3,000 and 4,000, if you divide that into 2, that'll give you 3,005, and that is somewhere here. Okay, that is right there, and that is where we had that major pullback right here, 3,005. That's where we had that major pullback, and price stayed there for some time before we expanded up again. Okay, if you look at same thing with between 2,000 and 2,005, let me do that. Yes, and do it quickly. Okay, between 2000 and 2005, same thing, right? They got to middle point, which is 2005. Sorry, between 2000 and 3000, they got to 2005, and then price paused there, all right? And then we shot up to 3000, and then at 3000 they accumulated, and then shot up to 3005, and then from there 4,000. Okay, so from here I believe the next one would be 4,005, and then maybe a major pullback can happen, then we go to 5,000. Okay, so from where we are now, I think 4,005 will be a key level for price to reach for. So we're gonna continue looking for the full figures between here and 4,005. So 4,003 and 4,004 then 4,005. And then in between those, you're gonna look for the 50s as well. So you look for, like right now, you're looking for 4,250, then 4,003, and then 4,350, and then 4,004, then 4,450, and then 4,005. So those will be like targets that whenever you take a trade, you can aim for, instead of just randomly getting in and not knowing where you want to get out. Okay, you can use those as a guiding levels for profit taking purposes, because where we are now, we are extremely high. There's no reference on the left side for you to consider that price is going to reverse from. So if you don't use something to take profit and you hold price, you might end up giving away profits. So use these levels as guides. So if you buy, when you get there, close some. Then if we pull back, you buy again. When you get there, you close some of it. Okay, so you can see right now they've hit the 2,050 level, right? And then price is pausing. And today being Thursday, who knows, maybe price will not continue going up again and then pull back and then continue next week. Okay, so yeah, that is the business for gold for now. Crude oil, we are still looking for lower prices. I think from the H4 yesterday, I did talk about price going down during the New York session. It did nicely, but I didn't get a trade in it because I think I was too busy doing something, so I couldn't get a trade. And this morning it also gave another potential trade idea, because this high to this low, that was a pullback to the 70.5 level right here. But again, I didn't take advantage because I was busy. And then this New York session, we have this high to this low, price has pulled back up again, 70.5, and then we fell off. So this is the downside objectives for today, which is 58.28. That is where I think price is going for now. And then we will see. Once we take that one out, we will see what price is going to do. It can extend to this low. Get rid of that. You can see I still have my lines on since yesterday. Okay, we can extend to 57.68 as downside objective, but I prefer this as an early target, and then you can extend it to that one, because the main range is this high to this low. That's the main range. And you can see it came to exactly 70.5, rejected, 70.5, rejected, 70.5, rejected. Okay, so you're gonna be looking for a continuation to the downside. So yeah, that's pretty much that for the crude oil. Now let's go to the S&P 500, which has, I will not say it's made me sad, but I missed the trade on it, and yeah, it's not good to see sometimes when you prepare and you don't get the entry. So essentially I had my entry, let me get rid of all of these. Okay, I had my entry right here. That's where I had my entry. I was looking for a buy here. I should have actually set it there, because these are two gaps that formed in New York session, right? I think we've discussed New York session gaps. This one has been respected and is done. So the next one was here and there, but I prefer the second one for reasons I don't know, because the breakout was here, this up candle prior to the move down. So I prefer the second one. So I placed my buy limit here, and then I forgot about it. Then all of a sudden, yesterday I saw price coming down. I was like, okay, I might get my entry, and lo and behold, it didn't get there, and that's where. But I have a feeling maybe a miracle will happen. They will drop down one more time and come here. So I've left it. We will see. Who knows? Nobody knows. Maybe it will come back. All right. So let's see. But if it doesn't, no problem. As I mentioned on the other day, this is still bullish. This is just a pullback. So we are expecting a continuation to the upside. As a matter of fact, we will be going up till the end of the year. So this was just a run on stop, and then price will continue going up. I just preferred to get a sniper entry down here. Okay, so if we leave a fair value gap today in New York session, because I'm gonna monitor it, if we leave a fair value gap over here after we break this, I'm gonna go long with that one. So we wait for this to break, we wait for that to break, a gap formed over here, then that will be used as the next entry for continuation to the upside. Okay, so that is that for the S&P 500. We are bullish, and I think the upside objective has been deleted. Let me measure a new one because we have a big move to the downside. So 6886, 6886, 6979, 7083. Those are upside objectives for the S&P 500. Okay, with that move down, taking out stops here, ejecting. Once we break above this, these levels will be completely hit as targets. Okay, so let's look for that. Okay, so that is that for the S&P 500. So now let's move on to the crypto market, and we're gonna start from Chachki. For some reason I have Chachki on the screen. Now Chachki, I think it's now responding to the drop that happened on all the cryptocurrencies the last time, and I've just heard stories regarding the drop that happened over the course of last week Friday, that some people actually lost their entire life fortune, and for that reason they took their own lives because they lost all their money. Now that goes to show that if you are not careful in this market, that's how much effect it can have on you. Someone lost everything, and I'm definitely sure that it wasn't just his or her money, it was other people's money as well. Okay, so the fact that they've lost their money, including other people's money, most importantly most importantly, I think it has to do with other people's money, because when you lose someone's money in this industry, it's a blow. Okay, one, you lose not just the fact that you have to give the money back, but you lose some kind of respect. You lose this idea of people not trusting you. It's a horrible feeling. I've not lost millions of other people's money, but I've lost someone's money before, and it's a shame when such things happen. But on the other hand, if everything had gone well, they would have been happy with you. So that is where understanding that this game is both sides. It can go for you, it can go against you. If you understand that principle, when it goes against you, right, you have to be able to endure. Just as when it goes in your favor, you endure. You have to endure when it doesn't go in your favor. Unfortunately, for some people, their mind is not built for failure. Okay, but failure is not the end of everything. It's actually a learning process, or something to learn from. Maybe don't put everything, and I keep saying that, don't put everything in one basket. If you trade, if you have a bit of money, don't trade just cryptos. Put some in currencies, put some in indices, put some in into the metal or gold or crude oil. Diversify, that's the word. Diversify your portfolio so that if one goes, one stays, and you cover with the other. If you put all eggs in one basket, when the eggs falls down, you lose everything. Okay, so it's just I think an experience that people have to kind of take lessons from. Anyway, so with all that said, I was saying that Chachki was catching up with what the rest has done over the course of last week, and maybe at some point, I don't know where, because on the left side there is nothing, it's just a wick. Okay, so I don't know where it's likely going to pause, but we are still in a huge downtrend, and at every given point in time it might switch back up again. Now when it does, it's gonna be fast and quick, because it's cheap, and cheap things don't last longer. They are grabbed at a discount, so the reversal will be very quick and fast. Okay, so yeah, as it's dropping, watch on the H4. The moment you start seeing the H4 showing a sign of reversal, then you might see a big move back up again, because the bigger the drop, the quicker the reversal, or the faster the drop, the faster the reversal. Okay, so now let's move on to the AI16Z. That fair value gap has held, so I'm expecting a move back up again. Okay, so I'm expecting a move back to rebalance the drop that happened, at least for now, to this candle's low. Back to this candle's low, which is 0.81 from here to there, or at least, let's see if we've got to 50%. Yeah, we've breached 50%, so it might reach for this low as the first up candle, series of up candle. That's the breaker. Okay, and then we'll see what price we do once we get there. Hype, I think yesterday I was expecting that to move back up again. I still think we should be going up, but everything is going to depend on Bitcoin. Okay, everything is going to depend on Bitcoin. Bitcoin showing signs of going up will give all the rest and move back up again. From the weekly perspective, this drop here, it's wiped out all the lows. Okay, so it doesn't need to go down again because we've taken out this low, we've taken out that low. That is all that price needs to do because it's grabbed liquidity below these lows. So the rest should be to the upside, and it did show signs of it here, and I think we should be following through with this as well. The fact that they didn't respect this gap is a negative sign of bullishness, but the fact that they've taken out these lows is also a positive sign of bullishness. So it's either they might consolidate in here. Okay, consolidation means they're gonna do something like this and then we shoot up. That, or we're gonna just do something like this and then we start going up. The least that it can happen, or the worst case scenario, let me put it that way, the worst case scenario would be for price to do something like this, that, and then that would be the worst case scenario. Okay, so the worst case scenario is they will come back down one more time just to make sure that anyone that bought this move will be wiped out again, and then the real move will unfold. But regardless of whatever is going to happen, do not think that Bitcoin is going down. Now, okay, let me rephrase. It can go down, but based on the higher time frame, this thing is still bullish, and run-on stops are inevitable. Let me get rid of some of these drawing. Okay, so let me repeat what I said. From the 3 months to the monthly, look at the monthly time frame. Okay, it's bullish. Look at the 3 months time frame, it's bullish. Look at the weekly, it's bullish. Look at the daily, maybe not. Why? Because the daily does not define where price is going. It's the weekly, monthly, 3 months, and they're all showing bullishness. So the daily drop here is just to stop people out and then resume the higher time frame trend, which, as I was saying, every now and then it happens. Every now and then they will wipe people out. Okay, every now and then someone will get wiped out and then price will continue. So I think we will continue going up on Bitcoin to 129.38.384, 141.868. Okay, worst case scenario, they'll come back down, take out this low, and then resume. And when that happens, obviously Ethereum will do the same thing. Ethereum will continue going up. Solana will do the same thing. Solana will continue going up because they are all bullish. If you look at from the weekly, give me 1 second, guys. Okay, so Solana will also go up because on the higher time frame that is also bullish. Ripple will also go up because on the higher time frame that is also bullish. So nothing has really changed. This the lower time frame running some people out of the market and then resume the uptrend. Okay, so yeah, pretty much look for signs of continuation to the upside on the higher time frame for all the cryptos, apart from obviously Chachki, that is still dropping, but even that, if you look at the monthly or weekly, we are at a level where any point in time, okay, someone is gonna step in and buy aggressively. All right, looking at this is where it started from, and it went all the way to almost 0.0031. Okay, so we are back to square one, and that is the cheapest it can go. All right, so at any, let me draw a line there. Okay, guys, sorry, I had a phone call from my dad that wanted something done for him. Okay, so as I was saying, we are almost at where price started from. That is there. Okay, so all right, guys, give me a second. He's calling back. Okay, sorry for that. One more time. Okay, so as I was saying, this is the lowest that it's ever been. So if it gets here, who knows, maybe it's gonna reject, or probably might not even get there and then reject immediately. So keep an eye on that too, because if it gets here, definitely, I don't think depending on the project, right? I don't think they will allow price to go to minus, right? It's not possible, and that would be the cheapest that you can ever get. So if it gets here, that is bargain. Everybody should buy one. Okay. All right. So let's go back to the currencies again. The dollar index, like I was saying, I want them to come back one more time down here and then reject aggressively back up. So keep an eye on that. Gold, we are still looking for a continuation. So if you buy, make sure 4,003 will be the next upside objective. Let me pin that over here. That will be the next upside objective. Crude oil down here, we are looking for higher prices if we break. And then obviously euro, I want them to go up one more time and break. That couldn't break, so we will see at which level it's gonna give the rejection. Don't sell yet, wait for confirmation. Okay. All right, that's all I have for you for today. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I will see you all same time tomorrow. And yes, depending on how market will close today, we have a good picture for tomorrow and next week. Take care.